Okay, d5, then your pawn's hanging, so that's good.
Good for you.
Good for me. And now again, I want to move my a pawn up. The other idea I have is
I'm
h5.
a little bit tied down here, yeah.
And h5 could be an idea in some cases because you will never be able to play g takes because I run with this one. So, what move do you play here as black?
I'm already thinking I've given you very good odds. You've convinced me very quickly, but I'm still confident. But yeah, it's not so easy actually coming up with a plan.
Yeah, I mean we could make these moves because they seem sort of natural, but well, maybe this, something like this could be. Again, trying to just open up the position. Although Anish likes his pawns, and
so
the good thing about a triplet is that it does shield some of these squares.
It's really annoying that this f7 pawn is hanging with check.
Yeah. I don't know if I've given you very good odds, by the way. I still think this is very likely a draw, but I mean, obviously there has to be some ideas. Like a4
is just about to. I think a4 is about to appear.
Yeah. I really like this position, Fiona, because I feel like I can oversee it very nicely. And I think Anish likes it too, because it's like, it's easy to understand what White's options are here. By the way, I didn't like a4 because of d5, but maybe because d4 is a serious thing, but I think queen to a8 is the issue. And again, we're using this pin. Yeah. So I can tell you that he is, I think, sort of happy with this position. Yeah. I think there's chances here.
Okay, we just briefly saw Maxim Matlakov come by there, so let's go and see how he is getting on with his pawn down position against Vishyana.
So I was wondering if you can create some problems against the king here. So let's say you take.
In Dutch, we eten.
Yeah. And are you gonna go c3 or?
No. I would never. Yes, I will go there. Yes. Okay. So now I don't get to.
I think I'm getting a perpetual.
Just a perpetual straight away.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you go c3, it's not that different because I'm gonna go queen d1 and.
Oh, well, that makes it so that clears the cobwebs completely. I mean, there's just a perpetual on the spot.
Yeah.
For some strange reason, I was thinking that my king, I have a tempo or two, but in truth, my queen on a6, it takes a while to return to civilization, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so from the start with queen c1, just a moment, right here, because I really feel that this is a very pregnant moment that, okay, let me try a5.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like that move a lot more too. Because maybe now even in some of these lines we have, you know, options where the king like runs to b5, for example. Okay, let's see. What would black play here? I think it's going to be a waiting move. So maybe queen, I don't know, queen e2?
All right, queen e2, very logical waiting move indeed. Okay, I have this trick. You're not going to fall for it, of course, but I'll go queen f8.
Yeah, you're talking about the pawn ending?
No, I'm hoping that you'll play queen f2, for example.
Yeah, queen f2
queen
is
f3.
really falling for it.
Yeah, that's when I want to play h5 takes and g6, and then g7 is unstoppable.
Right.
Yeah, g7 and g8.
Now, I was just looking at the pawn ending here, which is also maybe interesting, because I'm pushing this one if you... Yeah. But it feels like it shouldn't be...
It should be more of a draw, but on the other hand, if you lose it, you're not incredibly surprised either, right?
So maybe I could bring the king, for example. Yeah, I think it should be a draw.
I'm still trying to decipher it myself. I'm not 100% certain, Robin. So if I go king b3, king a4, you're just going to play d5, yeah? Or something like that. So I can't, somehow I want you to move, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to get my king here, actually, if you move back. So.
Yeah, okay, so I played it crudely and poorly.
Yeah.
But other than that, my moves were really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I have to be a little bit more sophisticated. Very difficult and awkward task. It feels draw.
Yeah, it's probably draw. Yeah,
okay,
it's probably
nothing
draw.
to say.
So then I could go queen e8. That means you have to go queen g7.
Yeah, somehow
Maybe still some old tricks there, but
yeah,
it doesn't really feel to me like this is a big deal.
exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a big deal. But okay, Anish will try. How about Vladimir?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Vladimir try. That looks like a much better move.
Yeah.
Robin, I'm warming up to that move big time.
Can I play
Queen h2.
Queen h2, king d7, right?
Right, and then Queen h6. Something.
Or I thought here maybe.
Ah, all right.
But then you go king c6.
Right.
Yeah, and I was queen f1, but you just move back.
Right.
And I don't think I'm making any progress. So let's try queen h6.
Right. And how has our audience behaved? Has our audience been interactive?
Yeah, we got a couple of tweets.
All right,
sure. Yeah,
very nice.
We had our youngest viewer was a 2-year-old from New York.
Be serious.
Yes, 2 years, 2 years old.
And
Just
what was
watching
his
the
question?
show. No, there was just a picture of a 2-year-old.
2-year-old watching.
But
the
very
show.
attentive. Out a little bit. I'm not quite sure what the evaluation of this is. So this is quite exciting because there are some cases where, for example, white plays king to d3, black will answer with c5, and maybe we could see a draw with b5. But it is a bit of a zugzwang situation because basically, let's see, Hou Yifan played the move king d7. Wow, this is very complicated. Okay, king d7. Anish is playing very fast. King d3, almost instantly played. And what is happening here? Why would this not be winning? Of course, it's important to mention that here after c5, this looks winning. I'm assuming this is what Anish was going for. And I'm guessing king c5 here is probably winning. Let's go back to the game because they're playing this out quickly. And Hou Yifan played king c7 over here. Well, that is very, very odd. I'm pretty sure this must be winning. She's counting on king d6 probably. But yeah, this is on the board if you look at the live feed. King to e4 here looks good. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you can go b5 here. Just a pretty simple breakthrough. And I think this is the last. This should be more or less the last move. After king to e4, I think Anish, we're gonna see Hou Yifan resign. The reason being that if you do go back with the king, for example here, I think you should get into zugzwang here once again. Maybe even Anish could walk all the way to here. Okay, I have to be a little bit careful because king d6 is there. So let's see. He's taking his time now. They just reached move 60, so that means they got another 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, or 20 minutes. Okay, king to e4. King e6 immediately loses, so we're gonna say king d7, let's say. King e5. King c7. Let's see what happens if we go for this. The problem is if I go here, I simply don't have time to run to g7. King c7. So how is Anish winning this? One thing is for sure, which is that it must be winning. It would be very odd if it's not. Another plan could be to just try and walk to a4 and then play the move b5. So this is the current position. So what happens if king c3, king d6 would immediately lose because of king d4, I believe. So maybe king c3, king d7, king b3, king goes somewhere. Maybe this is the right way to do it. Moving the king to a4 and then going for b5. That looks sensible to me. I'm not sure what's wrong with that plan. Let's see if Anish is going to go for it. King e4 was played instead. Okay. So king d7 again. King d6, okay. So king d6 I thought is a mistake because you go here, but I'm not sure at this point if we've already seen this position. We may have, but I thought that check here, this should be a win.
Can you just walk to the king side?
Maybe king e6. Maybe it's not a win. Looks like a win though. King somewhere and then c5. Looks like white's first. Yeah, king d4 was played, and if I'm not mistaken, that was Hou Yifan resigning. Yeah. So I think the line we just had looks winning to me. There might be king c3 immediately too. This is another way to win, it seems. But I think that was fine too. So takes. Let's say here, and then just run to c8. You're faster. Okay, so yeah, the entire game I thought this was, Anish had some chances, but last time when we checked in with Yasser, I wasn't sure anymore. For those who didn't see, this came from a queen ending, and right around here I thought it's very little. So I'm gonna wrap up. This was the last game in the A group for today.
Anish, a victory over Ivan Hou. Were you sort of lucky in the ending?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it was a little bit similar to our previous game. I was putting a little bit of pressure throughout the whole game, but it is not enough to win normally. But okay, I have to do what I have to do, and yeah, at the end, I was very lucky, of course.
A couple of years ago, you were at some point second in the world, and in the last couple of months, years, you have been struggling to come into the top 10. How did you work on that situation?
Well, I could be like Levon Aronian and say that, you know, I still consider myself to be world number 2. In fact, I had never been world number 2. I've been world number 2 once for a couple hours. I won my game against Wojtaszek in Qatar Open, and Vladimir Kramnik was world number 2.
For some reason, I opened the website at that moment.
Yes, and Vladimir Kramnik was playing his game, and I already finished my game. And he was world number 2, and with that game I overtook him, but he won his game, and the same day I became world number 3 again. Yeah, I had some good results before. I've been very steady. Mostly my sort of downfall, so whatever you call it. I played very badly in 2 tournaments in a row. At some point in the Bilbao, I lost 3, and in Singfield Cup, I had 2 tournaments with 3 losses and no wins, and that was an enormous blow to my rating. And ever since, I didn't have such blows anymore. But yeah, I didn't manage to quite get back. But it's normal. I mean, you know, there are always people look at themselves, you know, when they ask such question, and they always say that, yeah, you know, I was struggling with something, but then, you know, I had an enlightenment. In fact, you should always keep in mind that there are many players who play this game, and we are all playing each other. So, you know, I let go a little bit of my form. Someone like, you know, Levon Aronian, for example, had a very good run, Shahriar Mamediyarov, and then it always happens that someone is a bit off, the other guy takes over. So yeah, it also has to do with other players doing well, and I was obviously quite lucky the moment when I was world number 3. I was getting a lot of luck everywhere. Lately it's been a bit tougher. I hope to get some luck again in the future.
Okay. After the first round, okay, nothing can be said. You're leading the tournament with Anand and Kramnik. Would you be surprised if they would continue to do very well in this tournament?
Yeah, so far indeed 3 veterans are doing very well in the tournament. But yeah, you know, one game doesn't mean anything. it is for Kramnik and Anand. It is very good because they have both been rather unstable. I mean, I have been stable bet player. They have been unstable, and sometimes they have very good results. And for these two, the good start is very very important. So I mean, for Vishy for sure, you know. And for Kramnik too, they are so unstable that